And when NRMs talk about their Mecca, it is in Nakaseke. So when you hear Paulo in charge of Mecca, not Ibrahim, not what, you have to be very, very, very actual. You have to give him
you have a lot to worry about.
Lot of.
You have a lot to worry about.
Not to worry, but you have to actually give a lot of respect. You salute that man who can.
You salute the Paul in Mecca.
Of course, they have to salute me wherever I go, including ministers. They used to come there and decampaign me, but I could always tell my people, if someone comes to decampaign your honorable member with empty hands, just promises, then you just look at them, pick what they have brought, their handouts, because there are always lots of handouts moving in all corners during election times. Pick the handouts and vote the right person. I tell you, I won by 99%.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you
now,
so much.
Fast forward to what happened on Monday. We saw all of you go through the swearing-in ceremony, which was last week on Monday to Thursday. I don't remember which day you took oath, but I think it was on Wednesday.
Yes,
you took oath on Wednesday. So 100% of all of you, 529 members of Parliament, took oath of office. And we now came to the first sitting of Parliament, which happened 2 days ago at the Colorado Independence Grounds. That particular sitting, first and foremost, was to select or elect the speaker. It's actually electing a speaker and the deputy speaker, which exercise took the whole day until 10 p.m. You were there. Tell me what you observed, what you saw there, and I just need to know from you, did your candidate win or lose? But I'm very sure, because you are the candidate who got only 15%, I am thinking you possibly could have been one of the 15, not 15% actually, but 15 votes. I suspect, because those were the opposition votes, I suspect that you were one of those 15 who lost with Sem Uganda. But let's get to the first sitting.
Don't create for me enemies at the moment. Because we can change the future, but we can't change the past. Gone is bygone. So we were trying to create some kind of insinuation. Now, actually, people can start stoning me, or undermining me, or throwing whatever they can. But
did you vote?
I did. I had a candidate. I was an ardent supporter of Rebecca Kadaga. Because of her history. I'm always very open. You know.
So you voted for Rebecca Kadaga?
I tell you, I voted Rebecca Kadaga. She was my candidate. The rest had, you know, there is what we call a political bling, where someone can tell you that a rabbit can grow to the size of an elephant. Is it true? It's not true. That can be just some sort of a dream. In Parliament, we, the opposition, have numerical disadvantage. Even if NRM comes by half, they still beat us. Why? Because of the choice of Ugandans. Because Parliament is a summary of Uganda. When you meet Parliament, you have met Uganda. The MPs you see in Parliament are a representation, all are a mirror of Uganda. That's why when you saw what Uganda is, what Uganda is going to do, what Uganda is focusing on. You don't have to go to the villages, you don't have to go to the districts, you don't have to go there. Just come to Parliament and you see what Uganda is, because we are the mirror of Uganda. So what we did, we had opposition candidates in the race, but we knew, and we never wanted to waste our time, and we had warned some of our colleagues that maybe they were looking for some bit of, they had their own political calculations, but we couldn't beat NRM because they are numerical strength. You knew that whoever person the NRM... When you are standing for an elective office, you use what they call the SWOT analysis. The moment you come out with the after the results of the analysis, then you either continue or you discontinue with the program. But me as a leader, I knew that basing on the history of this country, the history of Parliament, and what Right Honorable Kadaga done for us, I had to support her and other candidates, some other good candidates. By the way, we had some of the best candidates who were edged out by the president. I don't know why. There is a man called Oboth.
But he's NRM.
Yes, I don't care. Uganda is not about parties.
No, that's what I'm saying. If you say he was edged out by the president,
yes,
he's NRM,
yes, exactly.
and the president is the chairman of NRM.
Exactly.
So even you in the opposition saw good qualities.
No, we didn't sit anywhere to look for the good qualities.
No, I'm saying you could tell
the good qualities in Oboth.
Yes, you could tell the good qualities in Oboth. But the party was seeing these qualities as qualities that can possibly be deployed anywhere.
But the part of NRM is not after quality, it's after quantity. They want those mediocres whom they can
but even the quality, because Oboth is part of the quantity.
It's part of the, yes, you can be part of the quantity and the quality.
Who is
when
quality?
You mingle the two, the quantity and the quality,
what do you get?
It makes perfectness. So Oboth was one of the best people, actually, is one of the best legislators. Who, if he wasn't to be elected to be the speaker, at least should have been the deputy speaker. Not because there is a tendency by Ugandans to look at people in their political aspects. But I'm looking at a better Uganda, whereby we can have a speaker who's very calm, who's what is not questionable, a speaker whom you can even tell your electorates that this one is my speaker without hiding your head in the court. That man, that Mudama man, is one of the most powerful people we have in this country. But I'm wondering, why is it that NRM hates better people?
No, but that's you see, you're now no, Rutabaguzi. You're getting into issues that don't concern you.
Why?
Because you are Democratic Party.
Yes.
Are you DP?
I am for Uganda.
Yes, exactly. But
yes.
but NRM.
Despite the fact that I'm from DP, I am for Uganda, because when you have a better Uganda, even my political party, DP, or the opposition will be better off. If all arms of government are dead, you kill judiciary, you kill executive, you kill legislature, then I look at a dead Uganda.
But then how are you managing in a dead country? Because if all organs are dead, you're still serving. You're in one of the organs.
You try to maneuver like when you go to the war.
As an individual,
you try, no, as a party and also as an individual. Because even when you go to the war, you can't ask someone that how did you manage to come back home when your colleagues were killed in the war. You try to survive your own way using your own tactics.
But here is where we are, Honorable Tamaguzi. The opposition had a candidate called Ibrahim Ssemujju.
Yes, he's a good man too.
Exactly. Now look at Ibrahim Ssemujju. Doesn't he have the qualities?
He had, but
he doesn't have he doesn't have the quantity.
He knew the difference between a river and an ocean.
So who was the river in this case?
When you want to swim in the river, you don't apply the same tactics you can apply when you are swimming in the ocean, because you know the ocean is wide and the river might be somehow narrow. And in the ocean, there are
sharks.
Have you ever seen any shark in the river? The answer is no. Sharks don't live in rivers, they live in the ocean. So Honorable Ssemujju knew that he was going to swim on the ocean, of which he would have
the tactics of swimming in the ocean.
He didn't have the numerical strengths I told you. He himself as an individual. You know, he got how many votes?
15. How
many FDCs are in Parliament?
36 or 37.
Where are the rest? If you cannot convince your party members to vote you, then how comes that you can convince other members? Because first, before you go outside, if in my home, Rutamaguzi, I come to my home at Camp Rutamaguzi, my home in Nakaseke, Kasangombe, and I hear that my wife didn't want to vote me, or she didn't vote me, how can I convince my neighbors to vote me when my wife doesn't want to do it? So let him first. I hear a lot of blame games that the opposition would have given Honorable Ssemujju blah blah. But before you blame the whole opposition, because the opposition is a combination of different political parties.
Actually, it was said even when we were there, yes. The pressmen, the journalists who were there said, The official now opposition members,
They are the 15.
They are the 15. Those are the only ones who are opposition. So if we expect anything from the opposition, then we need to wait for those.
Who told you? But by the way, the person who made such allegation should have first of all understood what's the meaning of the word opposition. Do I have to oppose everything that comes my way? Do those people oppose their salaries when they come? Do those people oppose whatever comes from Parliamentary? Because you oppose that which you feel that you are not interested in, and that will not be in the interest of the country. If the 15 people are the ones who voted Honorable Semju, what parameters did you use that he was the best candidate in Parliament among all candidates? It's not just a matter of looking for the opposition, that even if you bring ABCD, you have to look at the characters of individuals, you look at their profiles, you look at what they are going to do. I told you, before you swim, you have to differentiate between a river and the ocean. If you go to swim in the ocean knowing that there are different waves that are moving, the waves that are moving on the oceans are not the same waves that are moving in the what? In the river. Okay. So he knew, he was just testing the depths of the what? Of the river, but unfortunately he used the two legs. When you are testing the depth of the river, you use one leg, just one leg. If you see that the river is too deep, then you go away and you leave it. But if you use two legs, the people can laugh at you. At the end of the day, people are laughing at us. In fact, they are not even laughing at us, but even his constituents are laughing at him. That if your party members could not all vote for you, why are you blaming the whole opposition? Because you remember me, I'm of DP. During presidential elections, I campaigned for Kyagulanyi.
Not Mao.
Not Mao, even President Mao knows it. Even now I'm going to meet him, we have a meeting with him right now. He knew it. I told him that for us in Uganda there is what we call amashanyarazi. I told him, tolina masanyalazi nkulaba, tolina masanyalazi. I don't want to play political bling. You know political bling? I don't want to play political bling that you are going to be a president. But you can try your luck, because not all people, even in your family, not all people can support your bid for whatever position. There are those who may say, that one may not do whatever. But before the people, the so-called opposition people blame the opposition MPs for not voting Honorable Semju. Let them first blame FDCs. They should ask them people, where are you? Even Jesus, just a minute. Even Jesus, when he was preaching the gospel, he started from his hometown, not so? And then when the other people heard that, the hometown of Jesus Christ in Nazareth have accepted his gospel, let also accept him. But if Honorable Semju preached his gospel in his hometown, FDC Najana Kumbani say, we don't understand we don't understand what you're saying, then why should you go to DP and blame them all? Nope. And they should know they set a precedent. During the presidential elections, we told them that when we have a better candidate, we should always rally behind that better candidate as the opposition.
Who was telling who?
No, because
it was an opposition position.
Opposition position. But the FDC told us that they had their own what? And they don't want to go under the armpits of some other political parties, because they had always a better candidate. We told them, according to the national analysis, all politicians, all aspects of life, people are looking at Kyagulanyi as the best candidate for us opposition. Are we just going to compete or just to win? Let us rally behind Robert Kyagulanyi. Then at the end of the day, we shall sort ourselves, because I know if this is a mighty party, DP is a mighty party, before the birth of they said, no, we shall go it alone. They went it alone.
You're not including UPC.
UPC has an alliance with NRM. They jump together, they dance together, they laugh together, they share together. And when you cannot backbite NRM when you are at the UPC headquarters, they can chase you away. So they are just in the opposition by by just virtue of the word opposition, but they are not opposing. In fact, they are at the table also eating. And when we are talking about the opposition
but
issues,
UPC didn't field a candidate for presidency.
Of course, I've told you, they are in alliance with the NRM. Whatever NRM they say, whatever NRM says, they accept Igwe,
wait a moment.
and they move on.
Because they saw that you in the opposition do not have consensus on anything.
No.
UPC is a party.
You don't looking at a credible candidate. You don't have to look to have some consensus. There is what we call some inner or indirect consensus you can bear in your mind. That even though we have a candidate, ABCD, we are a mighty party, we are an independent party, still we can rally our support to this candidate such that we can get
exactly. You digressed for the better talk. Just let me understand why there is no agreed position normally in the opposition. But let's look at the majority, rather the entire minority of the opposition, because when you get the parliament, let's split it into two. We split it into NRM and the opposition, without specifically naming individual parties. How many are you? The entire opposition?
The entire opposition is
about 100 or so?
107.
You are 107?
Yes.
Now that's the entire opposition
yes.
as a block against NRM. Now we're looking at you with your independence, NRM with our independence, and if that's how we split the parliament. So with 100 people in the opposition, wasn't that a very good start for the opposition when they bring a member of parliament? When they bring it, wasn't that a very good start? That first of all,
Mr. Zikusoka, even if the old 107 could vote for the opposition candidate, we could just create some kind of how can I term it? Because still we could not win. Not even reach half of NRM. But what they wanted to show the public is that the whole position is together, which is not true. We have some good opposition in parliament.
What's the opposite?
The one was that he danced with NRM during the night. In the morning.
That's called what? Good opposition?
Good opposition. We have some people who are pro-NRM. Let me tell you something.
So what is good opposition?
When you go to parliament, most of our colleagues or members of parliament think independently. However much they might be in opposition, they have individual friends. That me I'm voting ABCD because of ABC, and you cannot just force someone to vote you. If you fail to convince someone, you go and be on things. Just like you hear in NRM. In NRM, there is one Omega and Alpha. And they told us that for them, when they reach in the party, they take away their brains and tell them that please, here, there is one person who has a vision, there is one person who can talk for you. The only thing you can ask for when you reach in NRM caucus is transport and whatever, those minor things. But issues concerning about the future of this country, there is only one man who has a vision and the one who can lecture to you.
And they have a, what do they call it? A manifesto. The country has got a strategy.
Manifesto is just paperwork. Manifesto, these manifestos you're talking about, I'm a member of parliament, Mr. Zikusoka Semakula. These manifestos you're talking about are totally different from what is on the ground. For example,
that's what I'm saying.
Can you tell me at least two things which are in a manifesto and then I tell you that's not there?
No. Just wait a moment. But this is what it is. That one is even you are supposed to implement the manifesto of NRM. Now, fortunately,
with the what?
Now that's another thing. But you're supposed to implement it. Now,
I pass money in the house. Then you hear that billions are being spent.
Exactly.
Yes,
then
you try. You know these what our institutions in parliament that are supposed to look for accountability institutions. They are just like cobwebs. The frogs can go through the cobwebs, these minya can go through, but the cobwebs, when they see munyera, you know this munyera, they can twist on munyera and say, today we have you. So what can we do? If accountability institutions have failed to do their work, Let me give you an example of an institution like the IGG institution. Do you feel it? Do you feel that there is an IGG office operating? You just say as a Ugandan. Besides, I don't know your political affiliation. But do you feel that there is IGG office there? That's why you saw a gang. You saw a gang of mafias who have a lot of reports of stealing, all standing against Kadaga. Today we have you in our hands. We are going to hang you.
Where were those ones? Are they members of parliament?
Yes, they are there. Have you had the reports in the parliament implicating people for having stolen billions of money, grabbing chunks of
Kadaga
lands?
Reports?
They are parliamentary reports, not Kadaga's reports. But when they look at the head, who allowed such what to take place in the House, who chaired the debate? So
are these reports somewhere that people can use them?
They are there, but you know Uganda is a rotten country. Even if they are there, what can you do? They always ask you, Warwana. Warwana, someone looks at you with the keen eyes, Warwana.
So are you saying the reports as for Warwana?
Of course, someone will be Warwana, even if you steal, even if you kill, even if you box someone, you are not answerable to the laws of Uganda.
But that's not true. That's not true.
You say it is not, it shouldn't be true, but it's the reality.
No, but that's
we have
true,
reports in Parliament. Let me tell you as a member of Parliament. Let me tell you as a member of Parliament. I sit on Finance Committee and other committees in the House. They bring a report that billions of COVID money were stolen. Billions of money that were taken to Ministry of Health were stolen by certain individuals. Even the individuals are named there. And when you try to trace them, you find a very big barricade. You have ever gone to where ministers sleep? There are always tire barricades. When you come there, you cannot bypass those tire barricades. That's what happens to these reports in Parliament. You see,
you sit on a finance committee.
You heard the president talking about Uganda Airlines. The billions that have been stolen, more than a whooping. The report is in Parliament. Whooping 200-something billions were stolen by 3 individuals at the new Uganda Airlines. But are they in prison? Are they in prison? Those people, even the president talked about them. The report is in Parliament.
They were indicted.
So
and they don't take them to...
What is indicting?
No, but you see,
what is indicting?
That's a process of going to prison.
Indicting in Uganda, we call it kusisirizako.
But you see...
When you find a car robber and you beat him with a muzingonyo, he just laughs at you. A car robber, you beat him with a muzingonyo, use a mutayimbwa. That's when he can feel you. No, but when you use a muzingonyo...
There is a process, Lutamaguzi. Indictment is first, it's one of the processes that takes you to... Now we can't take the Uganda Airlines officials to prison just because we want to please people.
Even if it does come, but it takes time. They're going to bribing every step that they think that it will matter.
Well, Lutamaguzi, yes. Let's look into Parliament. You've been in Parliament for 1 term, which is 5 years.
This is my second term, which I started the other day.
Which you started the other day is your second term. And I'm sure that after 5 years, you've gained experience of how parliamentary business is done. You are now an old guard there.
But did you hear what I told you?
What did you tell me?
I told you that when you find a car robber, and you beat him with a muzingonyo. You know muzingonyo?
I had heard that.
What do you think can come in the minds of that car robber? He can call you Papa. Papa, continue beat him when he's laughing. But when you want to punish that car robber such that he cannot steal any car anywhere again, use the mutayimbwa. You know this metallic word?
Iron bar.
Then you know. Those are the laws of Uganda. The big thieves of grand thieves of Uganda, we use the muzingonya and then they go to laugh.
Do we even know them?
Yes, we know them.
Parliament knows them.
We know them. But can you, even if I mention one, can you come back at the other day?
Are you finding reason to justify why your candidate Kadaga lost?
No, Kadaga, it's not actually Kadaga who lost. Kadaga was fighting with you heard what the president said? That he called NRM MPs throughout the night. And whoever was called had to eat muogo, kamuogo. You know, when you are hungry, you have just come, you're a nursery school teacher, you have won as a member of parliament, you have never earned even 4 million in your life at once. Then someone calls you that there is even some cassava. When I meet you, you go to Serena and you pick your cassava. What do? until when we vote, are not easily be compromised. That's when we shall get a better parliament you want to see. I'm telling you, it's not about blaming Kadaga, it's not about blaming Oranya, whoever will be in the seat of the speakership. It's about the whole country, Uganda. Ugandan is a totally rotten. They vote people who are not supposed to be in such positions. Not only in parliament. You go to local governments down there and see. Just analyze. They tell you that we have an LC5 person, but when you look at what he's going to do, he just tell you that for me, I'm just the head of this institution. Parliament, I told you, Parliament is a summary of Uganda. When you want to know the clear picture of Uganda, just go to Parliament. You'll find people who have voted there and he will tell you, Zebande Takuria, Nanzi Zendieko. You find another one telling, Zebande Tawano, Dimusajja Muzisi, no Murambo, Yagala Gwesi, Tulona Reba, Gwesi, Tulita, Gwete, Kremu, and they voted that person because of that. Then you find another one, we voted Ebo Zikusoka because he's an NRM here, even if it is a Daga, even if it is a Siquiro, as long as it has a ticket of NRM, we give it. Then when they come there,
like people were voting for the umbrella without knowing who they were voting for.
No, you just forget about the umbrella. Is
Why?
it the majority? Is it majority?
In the opposition.
Because the umbrella has not yet even tested the waters.
No, but you was also voted for in the same
no,
way.
it's not that
They
like
were just
that.
voting for the umbrella.
If you want to see...
Haven't you heard about the wave?
No,
the political wave that was it?
You just forget about a smaller wave of the umbrella. But
It was a small wave?
Yes, a small wave. I'm talking about the bigger wave. Because umbrella, how many umbrella people are in parliament? Umbrella MPs?
61 or so? Plus independents.
Against what? In NRM?
But that's what the umbrella could... That's what
even the public should stop blaming whatever evils that are happening or yielding in parliament, because people have leaders who resemble them. The MPs are a mirror of Uganda. If you go countrywide and look at the nature of roads we have, look at the nature of hospitals we have, look at the nature of the agricultural systems we have, you come to the house here and ask, you people we always see, are you passing billions of money? Where are they going? They will tell you that the billions we pass them, they just disappear from in between there and they don't reach the public. They are the same people are brought back to house. So whom do you blame?
Okay, Lutamaguzi, I know you'll miss your speaker Kadaga, who was you liked her and you supported.
Not us.
You as Lutamaguzi.
Speaker Kadaga has been as a parent to us in the house. She could keep the image of house. She hasn't been a dealer. There is a way she could handle every MP depending on how
and that's what Semujunganda was actually accusing her of, that she personalized the institution of parliament.
That's why MPs voted him. That's why MPs voted him, Semujunganda. Because if you blame that the other person has been bad, then you look at your votes, even your party members have not given you. You know, in politics, let us have politics of reality rather than blame games. Honorable Semujizane MP like Lutamaguzi, before we blame the speaker, did we try to shape the image of the house? Because it all starts with us as MPs.
Can you do that? Can you as members of parliament mind and shape the image of parliament?
We can, depending on the... If the state can let parliament work independent, but they can't. All institutions of government are under armpits of the executive. And this was the last nail to the coffin.
Which one?
The one we did on Monday.
What did you do?
When we didn't vote Kadaga. She's bad, but you know the Baganda have a saying that what they call omweru. The Baganda have a saying that when you argue about brown, at least you are okay. But when you are ugly and very dark, that's a bit bad. Kadaga has been so bad. She has been what? But she was trying to balance. Even all pressures, all efforts you saw, all the billions of money that went out to fight her, all the energies, even some of her colleagues chasing out of State House. What was it about? Was it about shaping a better Uganda, or was it about a video of Kadag? Because even you had some NRM people telling her that she didn't respect NRM because she could even call ministers to answer on the floor of Parliament.
But is it that a speaker is supposed to do?
Yes, you answer. You have to be
is it
accountable to the country.
Yes,
even if I am a honorable member, Lutamaguzi, I have to be accountable to the Republic of Uganda, because if you don't pay taxes, I don't get my salaries. So I cannot say I'm an honorable member. All the vehicles we drive, including the speaker, the deputy speaker, whatever, it's your taxpayers' money. So I'm supposed to be accountable. That's why I tell you that if you chased away Kadag, I'm seeing a lot of celebrations since she was defeated. Haven't you seen a lot of celebrations countrywide?
What celebration?
Why not? Because I'm not seeing celebrations countrywide. Why not?
What do you mean?
Because you have chased away the devil. These are angels. They are going to see a lot of miraculous developments.
Who would be celebrating?
I would see Ugandans celebrating across. I would see members of Parliament celebrating, but
are they doing that?
But I'm seeing everyone is as if looking at some dark time. Why? Because that Musoga woman from Kamuli tried to balance. She could give us the opposition a chance to talk, even including Honorable Semuju. You could come even a time when she could give him more than 10 times. She could listen, however much she was NRM. But you know what NRM wants? NRM wants puppets. The cobweb leaders who cannot.
Who is the puppet?
Honorable Minister, you are not answerable to this. Honorable what? Do you know what we do as Parliament? We as Parliament, we are accountable to all that happens politically, economically, socially in the House. So if you have seen her, being that she has been the devil, that has stopped the development of Uganda under NRM as a party, then well and good that we have new leaders whom I respect, because I was also elected. People, even those who didn't elect me, respect me. The same way I salute them and say, Hongea mbere, tugende mbere, but time heals. There is a saying that time heals. And whatever they will sow, the Baganda have a saying, tugenda kubalabira kubikolwa byabwe. Nize, as I've told you, a member of Parliament who has been in the House, expect very little at this moment.
From the Parliament that you're going to be
From the Parliament, this might be even in the history. In the history, the 11th Parliament might be the worst. We might be the worst Parliament in the history of Uganda.
I will come to that, Honorable Lutamaguzi. The Honorable Jacob Bolanya, when he was campaigning, one of his principles that he stood for was, I think, restoring public trust. I think it is something like restoring public trust. Yeah. That what you're saying actually, for those who are viewing and watching TV, are really seeing doom in Parliament, a rotten institution or whatever that is. So he wants to ensure that this Parliament, that when Lutamaguzi presents himself as a member of Parliament, we don't see an honorable who has come to splash money. We don't see an honorable who is a dealer, who has money that we should now run and explain our problems to him to give us money personally. We'll see somebody whom we can actually give our ideas and issues and take them to Parliament. Why do you think it's actually going to be a bad Parliament when it has the commitment of its leader, who says one of the things is to restore public trust? No,
he has been an MP. That is, this is not his first term, neither his second term. He has been an MP, right Honorable Speaker Olanya. He has been a deputy speaker. Parliament is teamwork. As a deputy speaker, he chairs the House, the plenary. What did he fail to do when he was a deputy speaker that he's going to do as a speaker? Does he want to tell us that he's now an angel and he has been given angels?
No, he's now the speaker.
What you as a journalist should tell me, because of his statement, you are seeing green light because he's going to do ABCD, which he failed to do as a deputy speaker.
The man,
you know that the deputy speaker has powers. He's NRM. He was formerly UPCR, but he's now NRM. just like Kadaga has been, or any other NRM people. Let me tell you, all whatever Kadaga used to do, even Right Honorable Speaker Olanya could do. But being a politician, of course a politician should always preach right ahead, even when you see that it is deep in the night, you can always convince your followers that I am saying some right, if you be patient. When your time reaches, you tell them, please, I thought that light will be there, but unfortunately there is no moon. So you continue like that. Don't expect it. Olanya is not a God that is going to change these MPs you brought, especially those who are too much money-minded. Those who came I also came to see that at least
the problem is actually not the Right Honorable Jacob Olanya speaker.
No, it's not.
But the problem
is the state willing to let Parliament work independently.
The problem is with the members of Parliament.
No, not the members themselves, including the state. Is the state willing to let Parliament operate independently? A Parliament where you have supplementaries almost every week. A Parliament where you borrow almost every sitting.
Have you
legislated? Parliament where you make a budget, but after making the budget, then you hear the same institutions which you gave a share of the budget again coming for the supplementaries. Where are the discipline? Where is the discipline there?
But you have an appropriations bill, an appropriations act, which I think caters for all that.
No,
haven't you legislated against it?
That's what I told you, that in Parliament there are certain rules, there are certain procedures which remain in books, but in the reality people do their own things. Just like you go to the courts of today, they say that who comes for equity should come with what? Clean hands. But the people who go for equity really mostly go with the clean hands. Just like you go to the courts, they call, these lawyers call themselves land friends. But when you see what land friends do during the daytime, you can run away. Even some people say, today in the village, in my village in Nakaseke, there is a common saying that when you don't have money, you cannot win any case. And people take it lightly, but that's the system. Okay. You go to the courts. So when you come to the house, Right Honorable Deputy, Right Honorable Speaker Olanya and his deputy, they can promise you, but these are members of Parliament, these are independent members of Parliament. But when they reach to the caucus somewhere, they will tell them that here, when you come to the caucus, there's only one big cock which grows here. But
you see, that is, if that's the case, then that's what Kadaga has also been doing.
No,
why do you think Kadaga has been
do you know what I told you? In Uganda we have a saying, mubokisi yenyanye mvundu mubamu esika. Have you ever heard of that? The box of fudge, tomato fudge. At least you can pick it that this tomato you can cut off something and you make. But there is a tomato which you see that it is totally rotten. If you put it in your sauce, you cannot even eat it. So Kadaga has been in a box of rotten tomatoes, but they could do at least this one can be used to make our sauce. But there are those rotten tomatoes which you say even if you put it there, you can even spoil the whole sauce. So
what should we expect from you as members of Parliament?
We are not Jesus.
So what should we expect?
We are not Jesus.
Let me tell you. You are members of Parliament.
We are human beings like you. What did you expect when you are voting your MPs who can just be
service delivery
compromised overnight? A member of Parliament who stand for Zikusoka in the evening, but in the night stands for Rutamaguzi. What do you expect from such a member of Parliament? So it will be a zigzag Parliament. When it is raining, you will see people putting on coats. When it is not raining, you see people putting on suits, just to match with the weather. If you expect these MPs, because when I look at the Parliament where I am, the 11th Parliament, I'm looking at Uganda. A zigzagging Uganda. A zigzagging Uganda. Because what we do here is a reflection of what we told you, the voters, what we told you. When you vote a zigzagging MP, you zigzag and Uganda is zigzagging. When you send it to Orania, a zigzagging MP, you hear reports from accountability committees by members of Parliament. You take your time and follow them. Where do they die from? Where do such reports die from? I'm telling you, always go there. Like I had the Cossases covering the Bank of Uganda. I told you that Uganda is a very funny country. People can boil and boil and boil like a groundnuts. When you are boiling groundnuts, you see that, you think that the saucepan is going to burst. But when you wait like 10 minutes, you come back and look into the saucepan and say, where are the groundnuts which I saw feeding the whole saucepan? You can even take. So those are Ugandans. They can boil. The other day they are discussing about kabaka. Then today you don't hear them talking about kabaka anymore. They are discussing about kadagolanya. Then 1 week you hear them discussing about their own other issues. So when you have inconsistent people, inconsistent leaders who are much money-minded, we have leaders today who think in stomachs. Most politicians today don't think in their heads, they think in their stomachs. And they always, you find there your colleagues telling you, ajukira abaana bo balina okusoma nawe mukazi wali no genda ke Dubai musajja mulabi yaguze motoka ino omupiira gulinga ogwa tractor, and for you are there keeping your sanity, you be there. And then when you move around, you
so that's how you transact business in Parliament.
No, that is the Uganda. I'm telling you the Uganda.
That's what happens in Parliament.
You go to your village and see when they see an MP, the person starts holding in the hands in the what when they see their MP. When they hold their what here, what
does this communicate?
Yeah, I don't know. You just you also have a village. You don't, before you come to Nakasi, you have your village. You go there and ask them what does this indicate when the voters do this to their honorable members. So we are in a country. We are in a country of handouts. I don't want whether you discuss it, but whether you debate in Parliament or not. In the you try to tell someone, please, we have a better future. We are going to create. Please, honorable Empire kange kompa. I'm not interested in your debates. After all, even if you debate, there is only one man who has a vision of this country. He will call the ministers and whatever he lectures to them, blah, blah, and then they go when they are saying Igwe, and they do their own things. So when you live in a country where leaders have lost focus, even the electorates have lost focus. You look at institutions of government, all have lost focus. You look at we used to fear lawyers. I used to sleep in Mitchell Hall in Makerere. But there is some kind of respect you could give to lawyers. Or the moment you hear that someone is studying law. But today when I say lawyer, I said these are brokers. These are brokers. Just go away. I don't
respect them any longer.
No. Do you see how they conduct themselves in courts? Muzeyi bwoba tolinayo kolina omulamuzi agenda kukutyemulira gende kasawo. When they say to go to Kasawo, they don't tell you to go to Kayunga where there is this village called Kasawo. you know you have to get something. So if all institutions are dead and the public no longer trusts any institution and all institutions have been compromised, you find what we could call senior citizens of the country talking in Rudicha. You know Rudicha. You tell someone, you tell a judge, my lordship, you see or what? Then you say, what are you saying? My lordship, I'm saying super. You say, football? Are you saying football? My lordship, I'm saying football. Then no one understands each other. Here someone is talking football, the other one with football. You go away and the country moves on like that. And when you go back in your village, listen to people will call you Farah. Did you know that?
So you do the manipulations to appease the people.
When you go, most of the leaders we have today, because why is if not so? Why is Uganda is in the state where we are now? Why is it that Uganda is in the state where we are now, whereby no institution is trustable now?
Come back to me, yes. On this particular one. I am looking at you as an alternative government, the opposition, presumably. That's what it should be, because the other day you're going to have a leader of opposition. You're going to have, you were actually a shadow minister for, I don't even remember what it was.
I've been a shadow minister for lands.
shadow minister.
But you don't respect us shadow ministers. People look at you as
but you see, that's what I'm saying. Because you should be providing alternatives to these others. We were together in Kololo the other day when you were choosing a speaker. People are looking at Honorable Namboze. Listen to this, that when Honorable Namboze came to nominate General Ali, she did the same thing in 2016 when she came to nominate that time Colonel Felix Kulaije, who is now a brigadier general. And people looked at her as somebody who just wanted to do some comedy, who
that is Uganda.
Just wanted to do some comedy to be seen also, to be talked about. And funny that because she even comes from...
But in Namboze, Honorable Namboze you're talking about is an individual. She does not represent the minds of all opposition, all shadow ministers in the House.
She represents Mukono now. So that's how Mukono...
I told you, buli mulonzi afanana n'omubaka wa parliament.
So Mukono are like,
she's a mirror of what she
is in Mukono.
Yeah, of the people of Mukono. But that doesn't mean that because when you first listen to me, when you are a shadow minister, you make what they call alternative policies. But if you have a home and the children in the home are starving, and can you advise your neighbor to come and ask food from that home?
No, nobody should have alternatives.
If these ministers have failed you, there is no minister you can feel, even yourself when they tell me a minister you feel, you can tell me that almost you are like a shadow ministers. Then what about these shadow ministers too? These people, the so-called full ministers, the one we give our money, the one we give security and vehicles, if we don't feel them, what about the shadows?
How are we supposed to feel them?
No.
Are we supposed to run away from them because Minister X is coming?
No, not running away.
How should we feel them?
But even when you look at them, let me give an example. Do you know where the vice president comes?
His home?
Hey, Masaka. When it rains, you can't reach there. When it rains. When at one time I asked him that you were vice president is the number 2. Do you feel that you are number 2 in this country?
Yeah, but you see,
when your main mission in the government is to go to the burial places where government sends you, but not to be seen. Does Masaka feel the vice president? All Uganda. Minister of Agriculture. Do you feel the Minister of Agriculture? Have you ever seen? You have a village where you come from. I mean, your home village, not in the town here. But we used to see that when you have a Minister of Agriculture, you try to see him moving all over the country, advising farmers, asking for the prices of farmers, producers, even people could feel them. But today you just see him talking about Unzige. We want money for Unzige. You tell him Unzige went a long time ago that we saw some eggs somewhere in the Karamojo of Unzige. Those are the ministers you have. I'm telling you, I sit with them in Parliament. I sit on front desk. Front as a
shadow minister?
As a shadow minister, I sit on the front bench. But I always try to look. You know, when you're a minister, they can't ask to feed you. You ask them that you people, why is it that the country does not feed you? Then you know what they tell you? Just on the ground and, you know,
but how should they be felt?
How do you,
I'm imagining
do you watch football? Do you watch football?
I support
Why is it that the world feels Messi yet is not in Uganda than feeling it is Onyango here? Because when you talk about Messi, people will tell you that at least he's seen. But when you look at, when we're in the House and you ask them, that honorable ministers, why is it that we see you as if you're a shadow minister? They tell you that and when you try to do your work, they will chase you away. And they are not there to represent Uganda as a country. They are there to represent their pockets. That's why when they are appointed as ministers, their villages celebrate.
But nobody has ever said, so I'm throwing back the minister.
You are not a minister. You indicated that I'm a shadow minister. I talk to my fellow ministers who are not shadows. And you ask them.
Yes, but I'm saying none of them has ever said, I don't have all the authority, so let me drop it here.
I'm the one telling you. You said they never told you. A minister is telling you, an outgoing minister is telling you that the other ministers who are not shadow, when you ask them, why is it that they are not felt? They are not seen performing. They pretend as if they tell you that they just give you.
How influential is the leader of opposition?
Influential on what?
Just his influence. Our time has run out. We have about
There is nothing like being influential in Uganda.
The leader of opposition
in Uganda, the leader of opposition
is just getting the budget.
There just like an MP, because even if she comes out and gives out any alternative idea, people are not willing to listen to them. We just try our best, or they try to do their best
in this regard, in the 11th Parliament, to you, does it matter who becomes the leader of opposition, or it doesn't matter? Because you've been there for 5 years, you now know.
We are almost in the revolution. Even we are in the times are changing. It matters when you appoint someone who's very money-minded, because today's politics is about money. When you appoint someone who's very money-minded, who doesn't care, because there is a difference between talking and being active. What most Ugandans do, they always respect people who talk and talk and talk, but without having any action. An action-oriented leader of opposition who say we are going to the lake and you find him there.
Semakula, I don't want to lose this point because our time has gone out.
Yes.
Are there members of the opposition who are money-minded?
A lot.
Are there members in the opposition who are dealers?
Let me tell you, the opposition is not of angels. These people come from you. Dealers are everywhere. So money-minded people are everywhere. I've told you that we have accountability committees.
That are chaired by the opposition.
Which report has ever come out and you feel satisfied and there is any action taken against such reports?
Why doesn't it come with that satisfaction? And it's headed by an opposition member.
Because it's Uganda. Uganda, we are a reflection of Uganda. We come from you people. Zikusoka, there are Zikusokas in the house there.
Our time has run out.
Just a minute.
Our time is up.
I just want to appeal to my colleagues in the house, especially the newcomers here in the 11th Parliament. When you come to the house, people give you mandate to come and help them. Even if you don't have the opportunity to discuss on the floor of Parliament, but still you can influence the way your constituencies run by going back and advise people to maybe to do a lot of agriculture, community work, bulungi bwansi. See, when we empower people brain-wise and we try to encourage them rather than lamenting all the time, I think we can have a better Uganda. Because I understand we are not all angels. But when you work as a team and each player does his own work, I think we shall have a better Uganda for all of us. Whether you are in NRM, in the opposition, you don't have any political party, we are all fighting to make Uganda a better place for us to stay. We, our children and grandchildren. I salute all of you who have been watching UBC, especially my voters of Nakaseke. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much. The Honorable Lutamaguzi Apostle Kasana Semakula from Nakaseke South Constituency, Nakaseke District, Member of Parliament for the second term, the 11th Parliament. And that's what he thinks and feels about the Parliament that he is in for the next 5 years until 2026. Thank you so much for being with us on our Good Morning Uganda Extra this day. Wishing all the best for the morning, and bye-bye for today.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.